Today's audiences are looking for something quite different from what they may have wanted some years ago. Not a formal lecture style, but much more a chatty, engaging, conversational style. And these 10 tips will show you exactly how to achieve that. If you're going to present in this structured conversational style, then the start point is you need to know what you're talking about. Not that you'll ever know everything about your subject, because no one ever does, but you need to be in command of it. So if your start point is that you're not confident about your topic, you really have to either get yourself up to speed on it, or alternatively narrow the subject down so that you can speak knowledgeably about it, or thirdly, don't do it. You really owe it to your audience to be in command of your topic. Once you do, it really doesn't take a lot of time to put together a really good presentation. You need to be clear about what you want your outcome to be. Is it about giving information? Is it about selling your ideas, your services, the firm? Know what you want to achieve before you even start. And remember that if it is about giving information to the audience, a stand-up presentation is a terrible medium for absorbing lots of information. So cut down to a few key points and focus on those, or a single simple message that runs right the way through. Don't try to get too much information across, because it won't be engaging and it won't be interesting. Look at it from the point of view of the audience. What's in it for them? How can they apply the information that you're going to give them? So don't just talk about some aspect of the law. Show them how it can help them to reduce their risks, to make money, to find new opportunities. That's the way to make it interesting and engaging. You need to focus on the audience. Make sure you have a good, solid structure for your presentation. You need a strong opening, and that might be a strongly worded statement, a fact or statistic of some sort, a question. It might be an actual question or a rhetorical question, but make sure that you have that headline type opening to get the audience's attention and to get you off and running as well. And then make sure that you have a logical structure to it, 3 key points or 5 key points, and signpost those as you go through. The first point here is this, the second point is this, so they're the first 2 points. The third point is, in that way the audience knows where the presentation's coming from and where it's going to. And then have a strong conclusion. And a strong conclusion is often a summary of the key points with a nice, solid, final sentence on the end. So in summary, the key points here are this and this and this, and in conclusion, if you do those things, you will find new opportunities. So that's the way to structure your presentation. And then make sure that you learn your opening and you learn your ending. The rest, use a structured conversational style, but the opening and the ending, definitely best to learn those. Use lots of stories and examples to really make your presentation interesting and memorable. Stories are what stick with an audience, and most professional speakers use lots and lots of stories to get their points across. So use examples. Examples are also important because they help to improve your credibility in front of the audience. It makes it more practical and commercial for them. So lots of stories, lots of examples. That will make your message memorable. It's perfectly normal to feel nervous about presenting. All the best speakers get nervous before an important presentation. So don't tell yourself there's anything wrong with you for feeling nervous. Perfectly normal. But what some inexperienced speakers do is they try to control that nervous energy or hide it or hold it down. Don't do that. The secret is to channel that nervous energy into your presentation and turn that negative, uneasy, nervous fear into positive enthusiasm. That will help you to get your message across in an engaging way, and it will also help you to feel so much more confident about your presentation. Research shows that in judging the credibility of a speaker, the one thing that makes the biggest difference is the extent to which they use notes. That's not to say that you shouldn't ever use notes for anything other than a very short presentation, you will need some notes to give you the structure. But that should simply be a few key bullet points. A script won't help you, it really won't. So don't go in there with a script, go in there with a structure, represented with bullet points, and then just look at your bullet points from time to time to keep you on track. That's really all you need to do. Use lots of body language and gestures and eye contact and your voice to really help to emphasize your messages. It's not a bad thing to use gestures, it's a good thing because it helps you to get your points across in an enthusiastic and energetic way, and that will convey your messages to your audience. It'll also help you to feel more natural as well, because most of us, when we're speaking about things that we're enthusiastic about, we use our voice well with lots of intonation, we use gestures, we use facial expressions, and that's what you need to be doing up there in front of an audience. It shouldn't come across as deadly serious, it should come across as engaging and passionate. The fact is, most speakers overuse and wrongly use PowerPoint. PowerPoint can be effective, but only when used in the right way. And yet most speakers these days are simply using bullet points after bullet points after bullet points, and it's dull. So come away from that and instead use visual images. They may be photographs, diagrams, maps, newspaper headlines, things that will convey something fresh that you couldn't simply do in words alone. And that's the better way to use PowerPoint. Use some black slides in between the image slides to get the audience's attention back. And don't just keep looking back at the screen. Look at the audience, focus on them, but use the slides to reinforce your message. And it's a mistake for your PowerPoint slides to double up as a handout. That doesn't serve either purpose well. They are both very different things. So create a useful handout that people can take away with them, but your slides should be something that simply help you get your message across in an engaging way within the presentation itself. There's just as much danger of over-preparing and over-rehearsing as there is of under-rehearsing. So my suggestion is learn your opening off by heart so that you can deliver that when you're at your most nervous. It's also worth learning your ending, your conclusion off by heart as well. But for the rest, simply have your bullet points there to aid a structured conversational style. Try it through once or twice to rehearse. After that, you're ready to go. And if you follow these 10 tips, you will give good presentations.